In today's class, we are going to go over simultaneous linear equation involving special case. Okay, let's start with the first question. If p minus 2g plus 1 is equals to g plus 3p and p minus 2 is equals to 0, find the value of g. Okay, we are given that p minus 2g plus 1 is equals to g plus 3p. And p minus 2 equals to 0. We are asked to find the value of g. Okay, please, I want you to pay attention. We are asked to find the value of g. You see, before we can find the value of g, since we know that p minus 2 equals to 0, I'm going to make p the subject of the relation here. Then I'm going to substitute it into this equation. Please kindly pay attention. Now let us call this p minus 2g plus 1 equals to g plus 3p. Let us call this equation 1, and let us call this p minus 2 equals to 0, equation 2. Now from equation 1, I'm going to collect like terms. Are you paying attention? I'm going to collect like terms by moving all these terms that is at the right hand side of this equation. I'm going to move it to the left hand side of the equation. So I'm going to have from equation 1, I'm going to have p minus 2g minus g minus 3p equals to negative 1. You know that if g crosses the equals to sign, it's positive before, so the positive sign is going to change to negative sign, so that I have negative g. Now plus 3p is going to change to negative sign when it crosses the equals to sign, so I have negative 3p. And if this one crosses the equals to sign to the right hand side of the equation, is going to change towards negative. Are you paying attention? So I have negative 1. Okay, now from this place I have p minus 3p. P minus 3p will give me what? Negative 2p. So I'm going to have negative 2p, negative 2g, negative g. That will be what? Negative 3g equals to negative 1. Do you understand? Now please pay attention. From equation 2, I'm going to make p the subject of the relation. Do you understand? From equation 2, I'm going to make p the subject of the relation. Equation 2 is what? P minus 2 equals to 0. You understand? So from equation 2, p is equals to, okay, let's do it step by step. P minus 2 equals to 0. Hence p is equals to 2. You understand? Now I'm going to substitute this p into this equation. Do you understand? To get the value of g. Do you understand? You see, the goal is to determine the value of what? G. You understand? And they gave me two equations. One in a special case, and one is p minus 2 equals to 0. You understand? So here I can easily make p the subject of the relation. So I make p the subject of the relation. P is equals to 2. And I've already simplified this also. The simplified version of this is what? Negative 2p minus 3g equals to what? 1. You understand? Hence, I'm going to substitute the value of these two into this equation to get the value of g. Do you understand? So I'm going to have negative 2p, negative 3g equals to negative 1. Now, when p is equals to 2, I'm going to have negative 2 into bracket 2 minus 3g equals to negative 1. Negative 2 times 2, that is what? Negative 4. I'm going to have negative 4, negative 3g equals to what? Negative 1. Now, if this negative 4 crosses the equals to sign, it's going to change to what? Positive. So I'm going to have negative 3g equals to negative 1, positive 4. You understand? Negative 1, positive 4. What's the answer? That will be 3. You understand? So I'm going to have negative 3g equals to 3. Now I'm going to divide this by negative 3. So g equals to negative 1. You understand? That is the answer to that question. This kind of question usually come out in the objective. You understand? So when you are dealing with this kind of question, you should be fast as much as you can. Okay? So you can see how I deal with the question. The goal is to determine the value of g, and g is equals to negative 1. Okay? Now let us proceed to the second question. The line y equals to 3x plus 5 and y equals to negative 4x minus 1 intersects at a point M. Find the coordinates of M. Okay? Now, let me start by explaining the meaning of coordinates. When we talk about coordinates always have points, you understand? That is x comma y. Are you paying attention? X comma y coordinate is what we are told to calculate. That is, the value of x in that equation is what we are told to calculate. Do you understand? So just pay attention. Okay, now we are given that the line y equals to 3x plus 5. The first line is what? First line, y equals to 3x plus 5. Okay, second line, the second line is y equals to negative 4x negative 1. You understand? Intersect at a point K. Now, point always has coordinates x and y, don't forget. So the value of x and y in this equation is what we are told to determine. You understand? That is the interpretation of that question. Okay, so now we are asked to determine the coordinate K, that is x comma y. You understand? Okay, now we are going to solve this simultaneously. You understand? But before we do that, we are going to rearrange the equation. You understand? For the first line is what? Y equals to 3x plus 5. Now if I want to rearrange this equation, I'm going to have y minus 3x equals to 5. You understand? Call this equation 1. Now for the second line, y equals to negative 4x negative 1. If I want to rearrange this equation, I'm going to have y plus 4x equals to what? Negative 1. Do you understand? We're going to call this equation 2. Now, having rearranged the equation, I'm going to combine both equation 1 and 2. You understand? Equation 1 is what? Y minus 3x equals to 5. And equation 2 is what? Y plus 4x equals to what? Negative 1. Now, we can solve this using substitution method or elimination method. Which one do you decide to use? You can use any. In this case, I'm going to be using elimination method. You understand? And what I'm going to be eliminating is y. And the reason is because I don't need to modify the equation again, because the coefficient of y is now the same for both equations. You understand? All this you have learned in our previous class. We modify the equation to make the coefficient of the unknown that we want to eliminate in both equations to be the same. But now, the coefficient of y which I want to eliminate is the same. So, there is no need of modification. In this case, I'm only proceeding with subtracting. You understand? I'm going to subtract equation 2 from equation 1. Okay? I'm going to subtract this equation from this. Do you understand? So, let us add minus. Can you tell me the reason why we are subtracting? The reason why we are subtracting is because the sign of the unknown that we want to eliminate in both equations is the same. You understand? So I'm going to subtract. They have both positive sign. Let's say one has a negative sign. I'm going to add to eliminate y, but they both have positive sign. So I'm going to subtract. Do you understand? That's the reason why I'm subtracting. Okay, let's go. For this, I'm going to have y minus y. That is 0. You can see we've eliminated y. Okay, negative 3x. Let me just write it here. Negative 3x, negative positive 4x. That is what? Negative 3x, negative 4x. What's the answer? Negative 7x. Okay? This will be negative 7x equals to, now 5 minus 1. That will be 5 minus 1. That will be what? 5 plus 1. Okay? Do you understand? 5 minus 1. That is, if you take the product of negative 1 and this negative, I'm going to have positive. So I'm having 5 plus 1, and 5 plus 1 is what? 6. So for this, I'm going to have equals to 6. Hence, x is equals to negative 6 over 7. You understand? That is the value of x. Now, we've gotten the value of x as negative 6 over 7. How do we determine the value of y? All we have to do is to substitute the value of x as negative 6 all over 7 into either this, any of this equation. You understand? We can use this also. Okay, so let us substitute. Since y equals to 3x plus 5, y equals to 3x plus 5. Now x is equals to negative 6 over 7. I'm going to have y equals to 3 into bracket negative 6 all over 7 plus 5. Do you understand? Okay, now let us open the bracket using negative we're going to open the bracket using 3. Okay, so 3 multiplied by negative 6 over 7, I'm going to have y equals to negative 18 all over 7 plus 5. Now let us take the LCM. So if you take the LCM, we're going to have y equals to LCM is 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 1 times negative 18. That will give me negative 18. Now 7 divided by 1 is 7. 7 times 5 is 35. That will be what? Positive 35. Okay? Y equals to negative 18 plus 35. That will be what? 17. So I'm going to have 17 all over 7. Now we are asked to find the coordinate k, the coordinate of point k. The coordinate of point k is what? X, y. So x is what? Negative 6 over 7. And y is what? 17 over 7. So you're not going to put your answer like this. The coordinate of k is negative 6 over 7, 17 all over 7. Do you understand? That is the answer to that question. Okay, let's look at the third question. The line y equals to 3x minus 5 and y equals to negative 4x minus 1 intersect at a point k. Find the coordinate of k. Now, please, I want you to pay attention. Coordinate is the point where the values of the unknown satisfy both equations. You understand? Let me just put it like that. The coordinate that we are looking for here is coordinate x, y. You understand? The value of x, y, that is the coordinate of k. You understand? Because at every point, either on the graph, we always have coordinates x, y. You understand what I'm saying? Where y is the vertical axis and x is the horizontal axis. Do you understand? So the goal is to determine the value of x and y. So these are the kind of questions that you might come across in your exams. Don't frigid, okay? Just pay attention to how the question is structured so that you'll be able to answer the question, okay? So let's start with the solution. We are given that the line y equals to 3x minus 5. Y equals to 3x minus 5. That's the first line. Y equals to 3x minus 5. Okay, that's the first line. And the second line is y equals to negative 4x minus 1. They intersect at a point known as k. So we have to find k, x, y. You understand? That is the point k. Point k has the coordinate x, y because our variable in this equation is what? X and y. Do you understand? Our unknown in this equation are x and y. So to determine the coordinate of k, we have to determine x and y. Do you understand? So that's the explanation. Now, to solve this question, let us rearrange both equations. Okay, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Okay, let us rearrange equation 1. To rearrange equation 1, I'm going to have y minus 3x equals to 5. Okay, equals to negative 5. Because if 3x crosses the equals to sign, the positive sign is going to change towards negative sign. So I'm going to have y minus 3x equals to negative 5. Okay, now let's rearrange equation 2. For this, I'm going to have y plus 4x equals to what? Negative 1. So we have this as simultaneous equation. You can solve this using elimination method, substitution method, even graphical method. I'm going to teach you that, okay, maybe in our next class. Okay, now let us use elimination method to solve this equation. What should we eliminate? Should we eliminate y or should we eliminate x? Let us eliminate y, and the reason is because we don't need any modification. We just have to what? Subtract equation 2 from equation 1. This is equation 2 and this is equation 1. Okay, and the reason is because the coefficient of y in both equations is uniform. You understand? The coefficient of y in both equations is the same, so there is no need of modifying the equation. We just have to subtract. So let us subtract. Let me erase this. Y minus y, that will be what? 0. Okay, negative 3x negative 3x minus positive 4x. Negative 3x minus plus 4x. That will be what? Negative 3x, negative 4x, which is what? Negative 7. Negative 7x. So for this, I'm going to have negative 7x equals to, for the right hand side of the equation, negative 5, negative 1. That is minus 5 minus 1. That will be what? Minus 5 plus 1. You understand? For this, I'm going to have minus 4. Okay? So this will be minus 4. To get the value of x, we have to divide both sides by what? Negative 7. This over negative 7 and this over negative 7. So x is equals to 4 all over 7. That is the value of x. Now, we've gotten the value of x. How do we get the value of y? don't forget that from equation 2 or equation 1, we just have to substitute the value of x into any of these equations. You understand? Equation 2 is what? Y is equals to negative 4x minus 1. So when x is what? 4 over 7, I'm going to have negative 4 into bracket 4 all over 7 minus 1. Do you understand? What I did here is that I just, having gotten the value of x as 4 over 7, in order to get the value of y, I substitute x is equals to 4 over 7 into equation 2. And that's how I arrived here. Do you understand? So for this, I'm going to have y is equals to negative 4 multiplied by 4. That's what? Negative 16 all over 7 minus 1. Take the LCM. Y is equals to this. Negative 16. I'm very sure you understood what I did. LCM is 7. This can be written as 6 over 1. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 divided by 7, 1. 1 times negative 16, that is negative 16. 7 divided by 1 is what? 7. 7 times negative 1, that is what? Negative 7. So this is negative 7. Y is equals to negative 16, negative 7. That's what? Negative 23. Okay? Negative 23 all over 7. So the value of x and y is 4 all over 7 and negative 23 all over 7. So that will be all for this class. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. Do you understand? Okay, see you in the next class. To watch the next class, kindly check the description of this video. You are going to see a link there. Click on that link, or you should check the playlist on this channel. Okay, see you in the next class.